Hello, everybody. I'm live. I saw so many of you in the chat room asking questions and stuff. I decided uh, so to wait and to just pop in and see what's going on. Oh, okay. We're going to start with my kind of thought for today, which is from the Findhorn documents. It's from the people that started Findhorn, which is the place where the fairies and the elementals help the people create a great farm in Scotland. And they've been having some actual meetings up there right now to help people upgrade their consciousness, get more, and enter into their soul place and to learn about it. And so if you haven't seen my show on Findhorn, I'll probably go over it again. There's a wonderful woman in Austin who went to visit and ended up staying for quite a while, learned about it. She's what they call a Findhorn ambassador. And actually, if you go to Findhorn Foundation, you can find her email and go visit with her. Hi, Tarot Stash. Teresa's here, Spirit Watcher, and I saw Vicky. I had already read part of your. Vicky sent me a question earlier, and now the scenario's changed. So I'm going to go into that for you. I'm going to go with the new scenario, not the old one. But this is what the message is, and this is what the message is going to be until the equinox, which is on the 20th, 21st of March. Get into harmony with universal life. Blend into the perfection of life eternal. If you are from everlasting to everlasting, and accept this truth. Sink right into it. Absorb it into your being one with it. Never try to work it out with your mind. Simply accept it and let the Spirit live and move through you. Raise your consciousness at all times until you feel you're completely at one with your fellow humans, and know that there's no separation, that you are one in me. I'm feeling my divine love flowing through you and uniting all of us into one being. And that's starting to happen. And I've been watching a lot of people who channel divine entities. I've been watching a lot of astrologers talking about this. This equinox is going to be very big. And because of it, I'm going to be probably doing 9 candles up to the equinox. So I'll let y'all know about that. I'll let the people that I'm going to have come read with me know about that. And with that, I am going to get on to the questions that came in the comments last night, which makes my life so much easier because then I know what I need. And here's one. Irene Vera, happy Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to y'all too. Any message from my loved ones on the special day, thanking me in advance? Okay, I think I'm going to look at the talking to heaven today a lot because a lot of the questions I got were people who want to know about things going on the other side. And since I don't need the table, I'm going to close you out, remove it from the stream. And today's show, I'm going to cut it about 10 minutes short. And it's my fault, not y'all's. But Kelly had invited me to come over and be with her on Valentine's Day. And then she was in the throes of getting a new puppy, and she wasn't sure it was going to happen. And I'd already posted that we're having our show today. And so I didn't want to, not that I think you'd be massively disappointed if I didn't show up, but I just try to keep my commitments. The other thing is, it's true. I am going to put up a banner that's going to tell you how to do it, but I'm going to do a drawing and give away some of my stones in little candy boxes. So that's like your Valentine's prize. And I'll get into that as soon as I finish these questions. Okay. Okay. This one says that there's someone that's passed that you're troubling over. You don't feel how that puzzle all went together. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. And they're looking at this from the other side. And I will tell you that further adventures on his book. This is just a wonderful deck if you just want to see. It's done by James von Prague. It's a Hay House thing. Although you may not understand it now, everything happens for a reason. There is a divine order behind everything that happens, including the timing of my passing. I realized that you weren't ready to let me go, and in many ways, I wasn't ready either. But since my passing, I've received spiritual counseling to help me see the big picture in my life and my death. And I now understand that I had to leave the way I did. It was part of my soul contract and yours as well. I now see everything from this universe is mathematically precise. There are no accidents. So if you know someone who died in an accident and you're like, why would that happen to them? This may be the person you're looking for. At some level, your soul knew that I would believe, your soul knew that I would leave before you did. We've both been preparing for this transition really since the beginning of our relationship. I am grateful for this beautiful moments we shared together and the lessons we've learned. I've learned from difficult times. It's divinely perfect. So what I would get from the description of this person and what I'm getting as hits and what they're sending me is this person in your past that you're asking about, maybe someone that died in an accident, had kind of some troubling things going on around them, and you always kept saying something like, they keep living like that, they're not going to be here very long. And that's who's speaking to you, and they're telling you now that it's all divine precision. And I don't see them saying to me in this at all that you take any blame for it. You're just curious. And despite the fact they left suddenly and they're left with a lot of unfinished business, that's just the way it was. And you don't need to puzzle about it, because their unfinished business was more their unfinished business than your unfinished business. So I hope that helps. This one is Patty 73. Happy Valentine's. Everybody's wishing me happy Valentine's. Thank you. Thank you. Do you have a message for me from my friend Ricky? He died last week in a pickup truck. He was driving, went off the road. Can you tell me what happened? Well, I threw stones on it earlier, and he was not expecting this. He almost sounds like the guy that I just read on that card, as a matter of fact. But I'm going to see if he has a clear message he wants to give you about what. I think it was a pure accident. Like universe has accidents, but I think it was his time, and he went, and we got. Oh, he says, I had to leave that way. I don't think Ricky would have been the kind of guy who would have wanted to lie around in a hospital and be sick. I think this was a good, for him, it was a good way to go. I had to leave that way. Please don't relive my death in your mind. As from my perspective, it was is very different from how you imagine. To me, it was like a dream that culminated in sort of a happy ending. Yes, I was sad to leave you and all the other loved ones in my life, but I have to be honest and say that I'm truly happy here. My soul is so enriched by all that I'm learning, and I'm still able to be with you and help you. That's the other thing. You can reach and talk to them. I mean, he's pretty new of having passed over, and I have my own feelings about that. I think we spend a bit of time before we start reaching across the veil, but that's just me. I am finally free of all the earthly sufferings I had, and it allows me to love you and the people I loved in my life even more. My life plan was designed with divine wisdom. It included the timing and the way in which I exited. It is the same with your life and everyone else's. It's exciting to finally know the truths and share them with you. Quick flash on that. When I was looking at Ricky, he used to make fun of some of your spiritual stuff, and he really kind of can't wait to come and tell you how right you were when he wouldn't listen to you. Please know that I'm truly sorry for that mode of my passing, if that brought any pain to you. And yet everything happened exactly as it was supposed to happen. You couldn't have stopped it or changed anything. Neither could I. And so I did get that flash that he used to kind of tease you about your spiritual stuff. And he's now like on the other side going, oh my God, it's like what she said. And it was a pure accident. I don't think anybody planned that for him other than heaven. Um, oh, this, you guys are going to think, man, this is the most morbid Valentine show you've ever seen. But it's not, because you're finding out how happy people are. We're going to get a message for Libra Lady, and I'm so sorry that your husband would have been with you this long. And we'll see what Maynard has to say. Oh, you're going to love this. We are so connected. This is a beautiful, beautiful card. It's a bunch of bubbles, and in the bubbles are bubbles, and they're all connected, and they're like, oh, it's just a beautiful, beautiful card. It helps to know the alphabet when you're reading these cards, because we are so connected. I've been able to review my life here in heaven, and I've seen how perfectly everything we do is woven together. There are no accidents, no wrong turns. Everything makes sense now. I wanted to give you the exciting news that in my life review, I saw that you and I have a strong soul connection through many lifetimes. And I think Libra Lady feels that way from the way she wrote about him. We've been in each other's teachers, and sometimes in unpleasant ways, several times. In this lifetime, we were magnetically drawn together because we had mutual work to do, and for ourselves and personally, and working with others. And now I'm here. Our connection remains strong. Just like when I was living in my own body, our thoughts are in sync with one another. We often think of each other simultaneously. So think of me now, and remember, I will always love you. So Maynard sent you a Valentine. Oh, okay. This is a different question. I think we're done with me having to be a medium. Not my favorite job. I received a proposal to join a team in establishing metaphysical groups from an unexpected source. No indication from me that this may be my agenda. And then I can only fit 200 characters in any of these boxes. And then Sleuth Jill went on to say that her decision is it better for me to do this by myself or to do it with the on her own, or to work with other people. So we're going to try and bring, there we go. Things got kind of messed up right before I went on air. So we're going to roll in the garden for you to see if we're going to just roll about joining this metaphysical group and whether it's to your advantage to do this. Ooh, you got your mind and your heart. And whenever a stone, I threw cards for so many years, these seem like cards. Whenever a stone shows up in the heart, I have to start reading there. And it says, your mind is being opened up by your heart, and you have your values burns out self-doubt, and that can block your power. So just from those two, I'd say this group, go try it. See if it works for you. Because what it's saying is, if you're working with a group of people, you can bounce ideas off each other, and then you can see how valid your own ideas are. Now, in the middle, you got a great balance. Your body's in fiber. Your body's in fire, not fiber. Okay. It says, you've worked in groups in the past, and sometimes they've been successful and sometimes they haven't. You have the perspective to know what to do with this. Your clarity is coming out of the earth. You have many paths ahead of you. The correct one will appear in the future. And then your spirit is between water and air. And your spirit will transform your thinking. And in a way, this request to you means your transmutation is complete, and people are beginning to recognize who you are. That may be the block to your own power. I'd go try a few sessions with them. I mean, I have my garden parties where the people who have gardens, we read together. And every time I work with them, I learn so much more than I knew before. So don't give up on it, kid. I think just give it a shot. And if nothing says you have to stay there forever. Dozen cats. Looking forward to it. Hoping to make it. The new puppy's in charge of her schedule. This is Kelly. This is um, if not, she was hoping she could be in the chat today. I don't know if she's there or not because I can't watch the chat and my stuff too. But if you want to follow me after this, I'm going to be on Dozen Cats. We're going to be doing a Valentine show over there, and it's going to be with Allie Martin and Linda G. Tammy Kennelly, I have struggled with a bad right knee since November 1st, 22. I was wondering when I can look forward to recovering completely. Meditate. Okay. I'm going to throw stones in the garden, but I'm going to tell you right now, you're talking to that one person that knows more about bad knees. I walked bone on bone for 10 years. And finally, I mean, my knees were just worn. They said if they had realized, they did both of them together, if they had realized how worn out my knees were, they would not have replaced them. They wouldn't, one of them, they didn't think was going to work. And just because they were in there doing it, they did it. And they both work great. I don't know that you need knee surgery, but we're going to see a time when you can start to feel some relief. Now, you know the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. So I'm throwing this in for Tammy. And not my knees, Tammy's knees. Brain. Well, your clarity's off the board. Something's going to happen. It's not going to be for a while, girl. You've got some things going on right now where your spirit and your energy, you're really working at it, and that's going to help you. It's the matter of how your mind accepts things. But I don't think you're really, really going to be out of it. I think it's going to take almost a year. And I flashed for you, and it's probably because I know more about my knees than I ought to know. But there are some other therapies. I don't know what's wrong with your knee. I don't know what's fallen apart in it. I don't know if you've torn cartilage and are walking bone on bone or what you're doing. But my daughter was in a car accident, and it tore her cartilage up in her knee, and she ended up walking bone on bone. And they did this cartilage replacement where they spin down your stem cells, blood cells, and they actually put your own things back in your body. And after having struggled for 10 years with my legs when I had them, I was really worried for her because she was only in her early 40s when this happened. And it's like she never had the accident. It took 2 rounds to do it. It's a pretty well-known therapy in the country now. At the time they did it with her, it was very experimental. You might look into something like that if you want to try and speed it up. But if you want to do it on your own, keep doing what you're doing. Meditate, do Reiki, stretching exercises. But Spirit says this winter's going to be fundamental to you. By spring, you're going to be feeling it somewhat better. But I think something's going to come up for you in the fall that's going to finally cinch the deal and get you well. And you have my sympathies, girl, because that's like the worst. Denise Trudeau, love your acceptance of all the changes that are coming. Love your connections with others in the 9 candles. And I left Denise's lovely compliment in my mix because I wanted to tell you that I am going to be doing the 9 candles again, and it's going to be going up against this real change, this sea change that others are seeing, and I'm reading about and I'm hearing about for the next in this next equinox. We also have a lot of major planets that are moving out of signs, which always brings a lot of change. So let's see, where are we? Okay, Nikki Howell. She was scheduled to have a colonoscopy, and she wanted to know if they're going to find anything. And she didn't put in the first thing. Apparently, you have a history of it. I saw that they're not going to see anything, Vicki, but I know about your rib, and they can't do anesthesia when you have anything that wrong in your lung cage. I mean, it's just not a good thing to do. My father was an anesthesiologist, and I can even remember him talking about that. So I don't see anything bad coming up. The only thing I see is the faster they can do it, the happier you'll be, because then you don't have to worry about it anymore. So we're going to do on the table. We're going to do on the table. We're going to ask if Bobby's going to find someone's. Well, I'm going to put it in a time frame, because if I say yes, you're going to meet the most wonderful person in the world, and I leave it open-ended, it could happen in 10 years, and you'll be going for the next 9 years. You'll be saying, "What's wrong with that woman? She said somebody would be there." Okay. She's got a whole lot of comments beyond this. She's given Vicki advice about her procedure. So we're going to look at, will Bobby meet someone special in the next year? Well, it says no, but there's hope, because you're very patient about it all. If you do, you're not going to meet this person in anything that has to do with where you work for money. One reason that you haven't met people is because you've had a big problem getting over someone that was part of your life, and you don't want to bring that back into your household. I mean, that energy back in your house. But let's see. Let's say. Okay, it's the Hangman's telling me that you're waiting. This is some of the stress I saw about him, and you've been lied to pretty badly. And there's also some stuff out of your early life and your upbringing that you kind of block them. But I don't think you're going to be forever alone. We're going to use a pendulum to do the, and I'm going to say in the next 5 years now, because this year is going to be, well, it's kind of still hard to get out and meet lots of people. Okay. For those of you who don't know, this way for me is yes, and this way for me is no. Okay. Bobby. Oops, started it off swinging. I'm going to do this. Bobby. Meet someone in the next couple of years. Just a companionable, happy soul. Yep. You're going to meet a companionable, happy soul. And that's really what you should be looking for. Someone who's just kind of fun and you can just go enjoy. And thank you for all of Valentine's greetings. Okay. Okay, where are we? See if there's got anybody's got questions. Oh, I know what I'm going to tell you first. How do you get crystals, and what am I giving away? Well, I'm going to give away some carnelians. These are carnelians, and let's see if I can get them out of their little bag. Hard to see them in the bags, but if I don't keep them in bags, then I end up with a pile of stones. Okay. They're very pretty, and they're very much related to red and stuff. And here's the other stones I'm going to give away. They're going to come in a little candy box, in a little box that looks like candy. This one I really like. And you can't request which stone you get. I just pull them out and do it. This is Himalayan quartz. It's Himalayan clear quartz. And it's an absolutely gorgeous little, it's a teardrop. It's really, really pretty. And then the other ones these are cherry quartz. So they all kind of look like candy. And then I have a bunch of other things over here. I've got some yellow citrine. I've got some honey calcite, which is a real pretty fun stone. I have no idea how many of these boxes I'm going to put together. I have 10 boxes I can fill. And they're not going to be full. There's going to be 2 crystals in it. There'll be an explanation of what they are. So that's the crystals. Now I'm going to tell you how to get into this. I got a banner over here. Okay, whoops. Y'all went away. Wait a minute. There we go. Create a banner. Okay. You need to write me at my email. Which is, we're going to get rid of that one, if I can get rid of it. Hide current comment. Okay. It's crystal directions with an S. Oh, crap. Banners. cjean@gmail.com. And I want you to, I'm not sure, let's split it up. I don't know why you ended up there, Denise. Oh, this is not working out well. I have to type it again because I lost it. And what I want you to do, Gmail. And if you spell Gmail right, it will accept it. And if you don't, it won't. And you're going to put in the subject line Valentine. Okay, I'm going to add that banner. I'm going to show that banner. Okay, that's where you need to write to. And I'm going to go in now and try to pick out questions. If you typed them in caps, you're much more likely to get. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Happy Valentine's to everybody. I'm just really looking for questions right now. And like and subscribe. And I got 10 new subscribers in the last week, which is really good. And yes, somebody told him to smash the like button for me. That's good too. Okay. Okay. I'm really, there's a lot of questions. A lot of comments in here. So, okay. Oh, now I know I'm back where I was. So I'm going to see. Okay. Hi, Dr. Gail. I'm glad your car's fixed. Yeah, Findhorn's been around since the late 70s and 80s, and it's still going and growing even faster. It's really part of the UN's eco-friendly groups or something like that. It's really a fascinating thing. Show me here. Is permaculture food forest part of the message from the elementals? I feel like it would really help heal the planet. Yeah. I haven't talked with them about food. I've just talked to them about how major vibrations are changing and that they're actually around us all the time. And that our problem is that our vibrations got thrown so low during the Industrial Revolution that we lost our ability to see them. And I just had that whole instinctive feeling I had totally verified by a man who he published his PhD thesis in 1917 at Oxford University on fairies, in particular, and fairies in the Celtic culture. But he went all around Scotland and Ireland and Wales and the parts of England that had more fairies. And he met people who they were in their 90s when he was interviewing them at the time. And they remember being out with their grandmothers who remember just going out and talking to them on the edge of the field. Those grandmothers would have been alive in the early 1700s. So it was really kind of interesting. And I'm taking some notes on that. I'm going to do another report on that. Also, I'm obviously watching my ley lines because of this big shift. I don't know if you know this, but on the equinoxes and solstices, ley lines get extremely straight. And so I'm going out and trying to figure out where the edge of my ley line is right now to see if it shifts in the next 3 weeks. Okay, hypnicity. What's your mom want to say? Okay, I'm going to do Talking with Heaven since I have the deck out. And I never have this deck out when I really need it. She says now she has no pain. So I don't know if her passing was a painful one or a protracted illness, but we'll see what your mom wants to say. Okay, here it is. Now I have no pain. You were worried whether I suffered in my passing, but I'm here now and I can tell you all the physical pain that is connected with the body is gone. Now my body has been laid to rest. I am truly pain-free. Before, movement was slow and cumbersome, and now I'm light and free, and I want you to remember me when you're thinking of me that way. With that thought, part of my life review has been to examine the source of my previous physical pains and to take responsibility without guilt for my role in manifesting these conditions. I now see that the path of pain was a choice my soul made, and I'm learning a great many lessons about about my life with pain. So she feels like she was a good time, and I mean, she's learning a great deal, and she seems very at peace. Okay. Um, Hi, Nana Bro. Lisa, Sleuth, Jill, because I've got time to read these because I don't have. Everybody wants to wish each other happy Valentine's Day, and I'm glad you all came. I'm going to try to find all the questions I can. Like I said, I'm going to cut out just a teeniest bit early. Okay. Oh, Libra lady, I read about Maynard. She said yes, they felt like they'd always been together many lifetimes. That's sweet. Do I have a message for Candy Mullen? Show. Okay. Okay. What? Doing it, getting it off. I just want to keep them all where I can find them. I lost my mind stone today. It fell out of my hands and it's on the floor somewhere. Fortunately, I have lots of sets of these. So if you want one, go to my website and order one. But I pulled out a new mind stone. So, Candy, does the garden have a message for Candy? Oh. Okay, Candy. It says right now, I think the most interesting stone for me is that your spirit's in the tree of life and true. And that's really an interesting place for it to be. And your spirit says action Action without spirit is empty. That's what the Tree of Life is telling you. And True is telling you that spirit goes forward when you have harmony in your plan. So I think that one struck me for you. And then you've got crown and future in your mind. So you must be planning something, girl. Um, think of the situation you need to think that you've been thinking about. You need to really recast it into the future sense, because right now your mind is in a situation that's bringing about change, but it's not here yet. So these two things tell me you really need to do some pretty heavy duty planning on what you're thinking about. Now your values are in air, and air is kind of thoughts and what's going on. And it says your mental actions right now are your path to abundance. And your clarity is in water, and you have much of the clarity you need. Follow one of the paths and use it to force to find resolutions in the current situation. And your body's back here. I think your body's trying to make some changes. Physical changes are coming, and you're blocked somewhat by thoughts from the past. So the way I'd put this all together for you, Candy, the message Spirit's telling you is you have this great idea. You need to do a little more planning. Just don't run into it. Like, I'm doing that. Like, you can see what I'm looking at. Okay. This is your spirit in the Tree of Life and True. And this is your mind in the future and with the crown chakras. But those are really positive positions. You've got this great idea. It's now time for you to pull it together. And it's going to take some more careful planning. Hello, world. Hello, world. Okay. Okay, what's Spirit say? What Spirit want Hello World to know? I'm going to throw that again because I was looking at the screen and I wasn't concentrating. Okay, that looks a little more. Oh, now I stuck myself. I have to read all 6. You're rethinking your physical state. Something's going on with your body because it's in restate, and your options are not clear to you right now. Your spirit's being weighed down by visions from the past. Now is the time when you need to really start not dwelling on this stuff, but moving ahead, because your values are setting themselves into some long-term patterns. And that's really good because you got your mind in the future. We've already heard about that. Think of the situations in the future sense. Quit dwelling on this crap. Move forward. Move into the future. And you've got your clarity is in the crown chakra. When the stone falls here, everything will become clear. I want to know who wrote that Chinese fortune cookie for this. The Tree of Life says your path is blessed with clarity and wisdom. You've got True, which means, yes, go for it. Don't let yourself get clouded. You actually didn't end up in water or air. You've got a great idea, girl. You need to quit saying, oh, but it didn't work before. Take those stones off the board. Everything over here is great for you. And you're setting, this stone is really important. It says you're setting yourself up into some long-term patterns. So let the old stuff go. You've got new patterns coming in. Tammy, a lot of people are having harsh dreams. We're going through an enormous energy shift. That's all I can tell you about it. I had a couple dreams this week that I would gladly trade for any I've ever had before. So don't worry about it. Okay. Darlene, the best I can kind of do for you is to kind of give you a when you're going to find the new job. The other things you're asking, yeah, I can do those in readings, but I'm not without interfacing with you, not without talking to you. Okay, I need to find a new job. I'm going to do when. You're going to find something this winter. It's going to become solid in the summer, and you're going to be totally in the job by next fall. And I think it's going to be a good one for you because the stones are lying in great places for you to, your spirit's in the path forward. And it's going to be a job where you can express yourself. I think where you work now, you're stifled and you can't really express what you want to say. Yeah, your spirit shines through self expression, and that's your path forward. So you need to hold out for that job that can really let you speak. I think you may actually have a couple things come in between, but by next fall, summer and fall, you're going to be totally settled in to your new job. I'm sorry, I know you want it like tomorrow, but okay. Sleuth Jill had to go answer her phone instead of sitting and listening to me. What's wrong with you? That's okay. Bernie wants to hear from Dad. What's Bernie's dad got to say for her? Oh, he's with the rest of his family. We're going to switch me again. We're going to do me again. Okay. He's with the rest of the family. And I've read this one before, and it's really nice. It's very comforting. I am with. I am not. I'm sorry, I'm not faster going through the book, guys, but I'm just not. I'm with the rest of the family. Please don't worry that I am alone or lonely because I'm surrounded by many of my loved ones. They met me when I traveled here, and it's been a very sweet family reunion ever since without any of the drama. You must have had one of those families that Thanksgiving wasn't all that much fun. Um, every relative and friend you could think of is here with me, and they send you their love. Family relationships are quite different here, and in that, it's pure love and no ego competition. So all the annoying habits have dropped away, and our memories of our human quirks are handled with compassion and a sense of humor. Everyone is in a constant good mood. No one is in a rush. Defenses have all been washed away, and our hearts are open to each other from the relationship perspective. That's the truth of heaven. So, if you're worried that Dad was going to run into some relatives he didn't want to see, it changes when you get over there. Okay. I'm going through as fast as I can. No, your crystals are your crystals and they can be strong. Sometimes it's the only way I can find the minerals I need. I use stones that are meant to be hung um, on a chain or whatever. My these cherry quartz, that's a stone that's cinnabar is mixed in with quartz and ground up and reheated, and it's a glass, but it feels like quartz. The energy in it's just like a quartz. So I, you know, where I shop, they let me know if things have been handled. I mean, if they've been manufactured somehow, and they're just some pretty stones that are have good energy. Let's see. Okay. Okay. I don't know that there's anything I can help with. Okay, and let's see. Dozen Cats. I sent you the. Oh, thank you. I hadn't gotten my StreamYard email from Dozen Cats. You all don't understand all the stuff that goes in the background, but we have to reset up and rehook up. And Yes, you did, Vicky. And those are cool. And I have a friend who went out in a park near her house and found a bunch of trees with um, knobs on them, those gnarls, burls. And she wants me to come over and walk around her place and see what we can find. Oh, Hypnicity's mother had COPD and was bedridden at her passing. Well, she's light as a feather now, according to what we read. Okay, Cece, Granny. You're lucky you got to know your grandmother. I never really knew either of my two grandmothers. I saw them, but they were in Canada and we didn't go there very often. Okay, you two. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the cats that like to start fights are out of their room. I was on Scott's show when these cats first moved in our house, and someone in the chat, I didn't think people could hear it because I have sort of a noise canceling mic, but they were fighting in the other end of the house. And someone said, "Does anybody else hear a cat fight?" Oh, your granny says you'll all be together again, which means it must be something you'd like to see her. We will all be together again because our souls are intertwined on shared missions and unfinished business. We are destined to be together for now. For now, I will be with you in my non-physical form, functioning as a guide for you. So she's there for you and a loving companion. While I can't give the guidance that God or an angel would, I can lend my support and give my strength to help protect you. Once your life is complete, we will reunite in spirit form. I'll remind you of all the ways in the wondrous non-physical world. I can tell you now that there's nothing to fear about dying, and yet you must live your life completely, fulfill your mission, and when the time is right, you and I will have our souls entwined together and feel perfectly orchestrated to help others that we have left on your side. So, Granny sounds like a great lady. I bet she taught you how to make biscuits and stuff like that too. Okay. Okay. Your message from your uncle is, as a soul, I can be in several places at once. So that must make him very happy. And it says, without the human body, I am free. I can do amazing new abilities. I can travel to any place and almost any dimension with just a thought. It's like living in one of those flying dreams that you and I discussed. Interesting to find out if you did discuss flying dreams with him. So I can be with you as often as you need me, and it won't hold back my spiritual growth. If just say the word and I'll be there by your side instantly. Although I'm not technically an angel because I have my human ego to deal with and still learn about, I'm like an angel to you. And that will be my best. I will do my best to protect you. Okay. A beloved brother-in-law. Me. Melissa V. Oh, he's telling you to not be afraid. Just don't be afraid. My transition has changed everything for both of us. You may be frightened, um, and you may be frightened of the future as a result. Please know that you have nothing to fear. Um, Rest assured that all of heaven is watching over you, including me. Although you can't be in my physical presence any longer, you definitely can rely on my spiritual support, which in many ways is much more powerful than when my soul was limited to being in my body. Um, he said, it's lovely to be here and not be distracted by physical demands. I'm with you in love and will help with guidance. So, you got a brother David too? I have a brother David, my oldest brother. Cactus Smithy. Your brother's glad because his mind is free. And let me get to that reading for you. I just need another arm and I'll be fine. Okay, here it is. My mind is free. You know how much I worried when I was in my physical existence. It seems that I was spent most of my days and nights being anxious and feeling about things in the future, about family, money, the earth. Now I realize that most of what I worried about was never a reality, that all these things uh, that did materialize were brought about by myself. So he must have been a worrywart because of my inability to not attract negativity. If I could only go back into my body for 5 minutes, I'd apply these new knowledge to show you how to worry less and create and attract a worry-free life. This knowledge can completely release me from the bondage of earthly concerns, which was my greatest lesson. Give up all your worries to heaven and never hang on to them. Be free of worries, and your life will be so much richer. That's a nice message from your brother. For all you patient people who've been listening, I didn't realize my mic was still off. That's what Dr. Gail must have been calling me about. Okay. Message from your grandma Lena was, it was not your fault. And I'm really sorry for the people who didn't get to hear their messages, but oops. This is why I need someone to run shows with me. It was not your fault. Please do me a really big favor. Stop beating yourself up for thinking that in any ways you caused me pain in this life. You are not. It's hard from the earthly level to understand spiritual elements of life. No matter what you think you could have done or should have done, I would have left the way I did anyway. I am releasing you from any responsibility of my leaving. I don't know if people didn't get her to a doctor or whatever. The universe is perfect in its makeup, and there's no coincidences. Thank you. I'm really sorry that there's so much dead air, guys, but I really have to go, and I will go through. Now I see people are telling me no sound. Maybe it's the cats. No. I'll go back through and I will try to catch these comments, and I will write them up, and maybe we'll have another session on Thursday, because I really feel bad. I feel bad that I was sitting here flapping my lips, and yes, I did turn the microphones off because of the cats. But anyway, do you see? Get that one, hide current comment. You see how you can get a hold of me? Put subject in the subject line of your email, put Valentine, and I will look for your Valentine things. And I really have to go because I have someone waiting for me in Canada. Bye.